You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Today, we talk about adapting to the shrinking middle class. All right. I'm going to tell you what. The real issue economically out here is the shrinking middle class. Right? That's the basis of the retail apocalypse. Because as I pointed out in a video a couple of weeks ago, all stores aren't closing. In fact, they open in stores. But usually, the stores being opened are either discount stores. You got a lot of dollar stores, discount grocery stores, places where they're going to save money. Or they have the real high-end type of stores. And that's a very important consideration. So they're not closing, but what's closing, if you notice, like the big department stores that are closing, like the Sears, the Macy's, the who else? Those type of stores. They're closing. Who do they really cater to? Like Macy's, for example, who they really cater to? They cater to the middle class. See, what has happened is it's not a crisis with the stores, but if you look at much of the economy is based on the spending habits of the middle class. If you look at most of the malls out here, most of them, they shrinking because their base was the middle class. Like when you go to certain malls that are more high end, they're doing very well. They're doing very well. People making money there, right? But that's because the middle class, see, the thing about the middle class, everybody automatically thinks is shrinking and people just losing the wages, which they are. But some people just making more money. So they go into a higher level. And when people go to a higher level, what they do? They move to a better neighborhood. They start buying more luxury type of cars, especially if they newly moving up. Now, very, very rich people usually just buy economy cars, extremely rich people. But, if you somebody, you just got a promotion on the job or business going well, and all of a sudden you routinely getting six figures, shoot, you get that better car, that better house, everything. You have more money to go on vacation. You want to get better clothes. You don't want to get some of the stuff they have out there, right? You shop in better places. You eat better food, right? So the thing business-wise, like people are going to have a choice. Like right now, all of my stuff is open to whoever get it. But, I don't have any crazy prices or anything like that. Usually it's just you either watch my videos, you purchase coaching. For those who've gotten like personal coaching from me, I know I'm extremely cheap. All right. And that's to make it accessible to as many people as possible. Right. So I'm pretty all right. But a lot of people have to think about who's buying their products. Right. You got to think about it, because either you like discount your services or discount your products and deal with that crowd, or you put more money on it and go with a higher clientele. Personally, and I'm saying this personally, if it would depend on the business I had. If it was a service business, right, I would definitely look at the higher, like the luxury crowds and stuff. I would definitely, like, if I'm like a massage therapist, like y'all know I love that. Example. If I'm a massage therapist, I'm thinking, all right, who gonna get massages? Somebody working a 9-to-5 job, a wage job, where they might have to have a part-time thing just to make ends meet. They're probably not going to use that service. they can't really afford to shoot. They, keeping food from a cheap grocery store or something like that is more of a priority, right? So, you want to think about that. It was like, well, wait a minute. Who has disposable income? That's typically like the large thing. But you have to think about this. Like, it's very important you think about, all right, am I dealing with this crowd or this crowd? Like, I give you an example. And one of the things I'm doing, and y'all notice I don't mind giving away businesses because how many people are actually going to do it? Anyway, right? I was looking at and I still might do it down the road. Looking at getting out of season luxury shirts like Polo, Lacoste. I think I talked about this, right? And selling them at certain flea markets. I would probably make money hand over fist. Because a lot of people still want the luxury goods, they just can't afford them. But if I bring down the price a whole lot, charge them enough to cover, my shipping cost and whatever. Shoot, I can make some money. I could probably still do that, just even online or something. You still might do some online stuff with that, right? It's very important, and I'm thinking in terms of, okay, these people, they still want the products. Let me set up something here, sell it to them. And there's flea markets across the country that really have a setup that's almost as good as a shopping mall, just a smaller scale, right? As an aside, I checked out one market in the Baltimore area, the one for the Baltimore people listening, and one down in Dundalk. I don't think I'll walk through there again in life. Lord. I couldn't get that cheap. Now, the one at Patapsco for the Baltimore people, I kind of like that one. They try to at least keep it kind of clean in there, right? A little bit more organized. And that's what a lot of people will do. See, they'll have something real inexpensive. In fact, a lot of immigrants that come to the country, they'll set up stuff right in those flea markets, something like that, and sell discounted goods where they know they make a lot of money. Boom. But then, some other people might say, okay, I got something more upscale. Let me deal with this. Like one thing I've noticed, like in the Baltimore area, Townsend Town Center, they got a lot of beauty places and beauty bars and all of that. But that's something, even though a lot of people would get into that, that's some luxury folks would get into. Like people who have that much disposable income to go for luxury goods and stuff, biggest reason they go is to save time. And they got the money for it and everything. Also, too, if you're talking about like really going for that luxury crowd, they want to stay in shape. Like, I find it amazing if you go in a neighborhood where there's a lot more money, say the median income is close to 6 figures, right? You'll tend to find a lot of gyms, a lot of high-end gyms, cycling places, yoga studios, stuff like that. Whereas when you go into a poor neighborhood, right, where they have more discounted goods and everything like that, you can't find a gym. You got to go out your way to, you might find one of those older, like real old boxing gyms or something that just never left at best. But you don't find that. And that's something to think about. Like business-wise, just overall, always think about your audience and who can afford your stuff. And the crowd, demographics, and all of that. People got to think about that. That's the thing that's happening out here in the economy. Only a few people are bringing up that angle of it. Not so much the shrinking middle class, but who's going to buy the stuff. You got to have people to buy it. Economies are based on, like, the purchasing, the people purchasing stuff. That's the key. There's some other technical stuff, but it comes down to that because I don't care what you have if people ain't going to purchase it. So, but for purposes of this conversation, always keep that thing about it. You got to adapt. Because I think one thing in this country, a lot of people are used to doing something in terms of what the middle class is doing, but that middle class is shrinking. So either you're thinking in terms of discount or luxury. I mean, yeah, there's still a middle class still there, but you want to if you want to maximize your profits or really kind of guarantee that, well, do as much as you can to guarantee you'll still be in business in 10 years. Hit one of those crowds because they always going to be with us. Not sure about the middle class. Anyway, let's go make that money.